ASU's Cam Skattabo has got 49er fans feeling nicey, especially after his amazing performance in this last bowl game that he had, where he almost single-handedly beat Texas by himself. Just a phenomenal performance, and he's been one of the more underrated players in all of college football. The reason why 49er fans are enamored with him currently, not only for his play, but it's because he's a 49er fan and he's a California kid, played right outside of Sacramento, and he clearly has a lot of love for the 49ers, including Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey also acknowledged Cam today, which is probably a pretty cool situation for him. But take a listen to Cam as he talks about players that he pulls stuff from his game. And of course, Christian McCaffrey is on the list. Take a listen right here.
Who do you pattern your game after?
Um, I like to say myself. There's a lot of backs that I take bits and pieces from. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey is one. Doing something that hasn't been done in a while since he's done it. Catching the ball, running the ball. Marshawn Lynch is obviously a big factor. Mark Ingram, I talked to him, and now that I look at it more, I took a little bit of my game from him, and then Le'Veon Bell was a big one too. Just me focusing on working on my patience, and the way, the slower you play the game, the more you'll see it. So that's something I've been, focusing on too.
So as you can see, I mean, when you listen to Cam and the names he pulls from, Marshawn Lynch and Christian McCaffrey, typically those are two running backs that you would put in the same category. But that's the thing with this guy is he can do it out of the backfield as a receiver too. He's looked at as like a slow running back, but man, he just gets the job done. And he knows how to, keep his legs churning, avoid contact, take the correct angles. He's just a really good football player at the end of the day. And that's got to be the biggest compliment right there. But as you can see on Instagram, Christian McCaffrey, sees this picture of Cam Skattabo rocking his jersey, walking into a game, and he says, "Young Bull." And as you can see, Cam Skattebo also posted the picture of the Christian McCaffrey jersey and said, "Let's get right 23," and tagged Christian McCaffrey. So, Cam, obviously a big Christian McCaffrey fan, but it's cool to have CMC show love and acknowledge the player and that he is. And, it's got to be pretty cool for a 49er fan to be acknowledged by one of your favorite players, one of the guys you model your games after. And again, he's going to have his opportunity most likely in the NFL to show what he's capable of. But again, it just kind of reminds you, we all get our start from somewhere, and especially these college players. And, once upon a time, Cam was just, a fan of football, fan of the 49ers, fan of, the guys around him. And he's been able to put himself now in a position to be teammates potentially with these guys in the league. So, it's one of the reasons why I love football, man. It's cool to see fans become, players and, become the next, generation of guys looking up to you. And then like we're gonna hear in a couple years, man, we watched your performance, in that 2024 season and that bowl game, and man, you really inspired me as a player to go out and believe I can do it. One of the things with Skattebo is he's just like super underrated. He doesn't get a lot of hype. His numbers that he put up were freaking insane. It was like, I think he was, I gotta find the stat, but he was one of I think the first players like since Christian McCaffrey to put up over 1,500 rushing yards and over a certain amount of passing yards or receiving yards, I should say. So he's just been able to do awesome things, and it's always fun, man, when we make the connection that they are also 49er fans, right? Something about 49er fans finding out that there are some players that are also 49er fans, it just gets us excited. it gets us going. So I absolutely love it. Hey, and if he was a 49er man, shoot, I wouldn't be mad at it. So this was the stat. It was over 1,500 rushing yards and 500 plus receiving yards in 2024. Skattebo had 1,676 rushing yards and 525 receiving yards. In 2015, Christian McCaffrey had 2,019 rushing yards and 645 receiving yards. So, I mean, this I think also might have been post bowl game. So I don't know if you account for his bowl game stats, what those numbers actually look like. So, hey, I talked about it yesterday. There might be a path to get this guy on the team. You know, we don't know what the future looks like for Jordan Mason. He's a restricted free agent. The 49ers could slap a second or third round tender on him. A team could potentially try to come in and swoop him and sign him onto their team. And if that is the case, maybe the 49ers think that it's too much to match. They get a draft pick in return. They use that draft pick to get Cam Skattabo. So I don't know. It's probably pie in the sky at this point, but we've seen crazier things happen, and you never know. We live in a crazy league, and there's a lot of things that change in a heartbeat. So you never know. But would you want to see Cam on the San Francisco 49ers in a backfield with Christian McCaffrey, maybe even with Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason, and Isaac Guerendo? Because if you really take a look at it, you remove the name of Cam Skattabo and you just look at the 49ers running back room. Okay, well, if you are able to retain Jordan Mason this year as an RFA, I believe it's at a $5 million charge. He's gonna be an unrestricted free agent the following year. So that means he will most likely leave in free agency. Christian McCaffrey will be a year older. You have Isaac Guerendo. And I think if there's anything that we notice, 49ers need a full stable of running backs. So even if Jordan Mason does stay, there is still a world that exists where the 49ers could potentially invest in a running back. It might not just be early, like where Cam would go. It might be more of a 5th, 6th, 7th round running back, but you never know. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think about this in comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.